our girl Chessa Bouche joining us live there. Go Nation Report. We always look forward to that every single week, by the way. Joining us from Baton Rouge. Chessa, you just made the trip back. Oh, she got the graphics are shining and everything, man. It looks good. I like it. Just made the trip back from the Death Valley Junior. And listen, did they say, was that not Death Valley Junior after the big win for LSU over Clemson? Gotta love that for sure. I know I texted you in pregame. Dabo did not fall down the hill. That was much to our unhappiness. However, Chessa, you've made national headlines over the last couple of days because you took to social media after a situation post-game when you were shoved by a ESPN cameraman while trying to get some Brian Kelly video as he was coming off the field. Set the stage as to what took place in post-game there after the Tigers win.
Yeah, so we all know it gets a little hectic on the field, so everybody's coming off the field. I'm getting celebration shots. Everything's going on. You know how it is. It's kind of crazy, kind of madness. Wild. I see Brian Kelly. I'm backing up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a great shot. He's going to give, like, the victory. And so I set up the shot, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I have it, and then all of a sudden I don't. I'm, like, pushed out of the way. And I look back, and I was like, did that just happen? And I look and see, and it was a guy who's wearing all black and he's in a green bib, and he's the one that shoved me. I saw, like, when I looked back, I saw him going back to get Brian Kelly, and I was like, did this dude really just push me out of the way? Like, he didn't say, hey, move. He didn't tap. He didn't give kind of the nut. He literally shoved me out of the way, and I was like, I was kind of like caught off guard because, again, you know me. I've done this for over 10 years. I've covered 4 national championships. I've been in the Saints locker room. You've been there, done that.
No question.
Yeah, like this is not my first rodeo. So I go over to the guy after all of the chaos kind of clears out, and I said, hey, my guy, next time all you have to do is say something. And he was like, just get out of the way. And I was like, open your mouth and say something, communicate, and I will. And he was like, you were in my effing way. And I just looked at him, and I was like, oh, no. You don't have to be. And I said prick. I was very nice and PC and kept my cool, but it took everything out of me not to be like, bro.
Yes. I mean, listen, no, ma'am. I'm telling you right now, if you've covered these events, it is hectic. And you get nudged around, and you have to be prepared for that. And you are more than well prepared for that. And you know going into it, when you get into the mosh pit of the post-game handshake, you trying to get, the crazy gang interviews and all these things that are taking place, it can get wild. But there is a understanding and there's a respect level among journalists and photographers and people in this business that you're not ever going in there trying to hurt somebody. Everyone's main goal is to get a shot, but you want to do it with a class, with an appropriateness about you. It doesn't matter if you are female, male, whatever. However, if a dude, big old dude, is going to push a woman, is certainly going to add insult to injury. That is absolutely not cool. And I'm so glad that you took social media, which is then what kind of put this onto the national scale at this point.
Yeah, and it was just simply a human decency aspect to it. Like you said, these are our colleagues. Yes, you might work at network, but it doesn't make you better than me. It doesn't make you invincible. It doesn't give you the permission to put your hands on me, and that was my problem. And so when I went up to him, I thought maybe he'd be like, my bad, I didn't mean, no, but he just basically rudely dismissed me. And it's one of those things that I was like, bruh, I'm here doing a job of like 5 people. My feet are throbbing. I'm hurting. I'm trying to do I got boxed out for Brian Kelly in the post-game handshake, which it happens, but nobody intentionally shoved me out of the way. So to me, I was just like, that's not cool. Guy, female, whatever, just be respectful. And so when he dismissed me, it lit a fire under me that I was like, that's not okay. Yep. He shouldn't do that to me. He shouldn't do that to the next person, and he shouldn't keep doing it without some kind of reaction to it, because that's not fair. That's being a terrible human being. And I was raised better than that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to treat people that way. And so I've gotten a lot of heat with people saying, if you can't take the heat in the kitchen.
No, they're dead wrong. They're dead wrong. And I will stand on that. And Gerhard, I don't want to speak over you, but no, it's just woman to woman. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And we can be as tough as they can come. And I think that between the two of us, we are. And there's a lot of people in Next Star, a lot of people who I'm friends without a Next Star that are really tough women. Everyone deserves respect. And anyone that is coming back and saying you can't handle it clearly doesn't know you, doesn't know how things operate in this business.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that. And you two will have a really unique perspective of being, females in this industry. Now, of course, I think now it's commonplace. It's everywhere. But like you said, this is more of a human decency thing than it is anything else. It felt like you were almost giving him an olive branch 4 or 5 different times and just seemed to double down on it just needlessly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was one of those things I was like, bro, I'm not asking too much. And the crazy thing is I covered an SEC title game in Atlanta and literally was like running away from the network guy. And he came over after the game. He's like, you don't have to run from me. And I was like, I don't want to be in your way. I don't want you to be in my way. Like, he's like, but you don't have to run. And then this guy's pushing me out of the way and then refuses to say, oh, my bad, or oh, I'm sorry.
No, he doubles down and he's ugly about it, which is what makes things – I mean, you can't even say, hey, that was my bad heat of the moment, or I was frustrated. Right. I'm a Clemson fan. I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, instead of anything – I don't like blondes. Just say something and then apologize and just be a better human. Clearly the guy was triggered. Hopefully he will sit back and take it as a learning experience. I mean, judging by his attitude towards you, I'm not going to, hold my breath on that. But Chessa, I can tell that you're like, but you do a wonderful job. So let's just start there. You absolutely kill it for us. You kill it there in Baton Rouge. So well respected in this industry. And so if anyone has anything to say, they can forward emails over here to Southeast Sports Plus, my email as well, because we will gladly have conversation with them.